comfy city in Michigan to a strange island named Lucas. I was living my life and getting by without much care for where I was. I was on an island, so what? But then I started watching a show called One Piece, and it completely changed how I viewed the world around me. Instead of looking at the ocean and just seeing a lot of water, I saw adventure waiting for me. I started to notice this miniature island called Cayo Blanco on the south side of the island. I immediately wanted nothing more in the world than to buy a boat and get there. So I did. I bought an 8-foot long inflatable rowboat off of Amazon and made the quarter-mile trip. And as I stood on that island and walked around and later went back there a couple times, I started thinking, now what? Here was this thing that I wanted to do for a while and I've done, and it was so easy, and now what? There are no other Cayos. Or are there? While at a bar that's overlooking the ocean on the north side of the island, I noticed what looked like a teeny tiny little island way off in the horizon. But sure that could be, right? But I decided to look at Google Maps, and sure enough, there it was. This seemingly unnamed little sandbar, just 200 feet long and 75 feet wide, and an incredible 2 miles from the shore of town. This was it. My ultimate challenge. I must visit this island. I absolutely must. So, I decided to test the waters. On a Thursday morning, I took off in my boat with little more than my phone. The plan was to travel halfway there and back to see if I could handle the full 2 miles. I sent updates to a friend and carried on. All was well, and the waves were nothing that I felt I couldn't handle. After about a mile from the shore, I decided to turn around and just head back. All was good. But this is unfortunately where problems started to rise. It didn't take very long for me to notice that I was no longer keeping pace with the shore that I left from. I was heading west, and fast. Unfortunately, this was far more than I could keep up with, and I ended up coming up on a terrifying beach. At about 200 feet wide, on either end of it were these terrible cliffs, where the waves stretched to over 8 feet by my guess, and the beach itself wasn't much better. Waves well over 4 feet hit against the beach rock beach with incredible speed and power, and I was right on top of them. Riding these monstrous waves as they broke inspired true fear into me, the likes of which I had never felt before. As soon as I was anywhere near the ground, I jumped out of the boat and ran into shore, all the while being knocked to the ground by the same waves that had nearly capsized me. After running aground and then some, I noticed the worst possible outcome that resulted in me getting to shore successfully. My phone was missing. Unknowingly, when I had jumped out, it was on my lap. So, I personally fought these waves one-on-one for 10 minutes and lost. I was being tossed around like paper in a storm until I eventually found my phone. Sure enough, it ceased to work ever again. But this did not deter me. I needed to go to that island at any cost. About a month and a half later, I was finally ready. I had been told that the north side of the island would be calm now, which was certainly true of the now dead calm beach I had almost lost my life at. So I prepared my items and recorded this preliminary video. Today's a big day. Today, I'm going to be rowing out to Cayo Blanco. This island is 200 feet by 75 feet and is an impressive 2 miles from the shore. And I'm going to be rowing to it in this little 8-foot inflatable dinghy. I already did a test run. I got halfway out there. I did this 1 to 2 months ago, and it turns out that I had chosen the worst time to do a test run. I didn't know this. That was in winter, and the waves, the ocean was just huge waves, massive waves. I mean, it was rocking me back and forth. I felt like a baby in a cradle. The waves were probably 3 feet. I started to realize that the waves, it's just perfectly calm. I started to realize that, so I talked to a friend who lives on a boat and would know this. Oh, hello, stranger's dog. Hi. And they said that now that it's summer, the waves are going to be, the north side of the island is going to be super calm for the rest of the summer. Hey, you're cute. And I decided to go back out there. It's going to take me about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to get out there. Let's see. So, in the winter, when the waves are huge, I managed to get out there pretty easily, the mile. I got out there a mile. And then on the trip back, the waves and the wind pushed me west, and I crash landed on a beach with like 5-foot waves and almost died and lost my phone in the water, so now it doesn't work. I still don't have a phone. Just ordered one. Hopefully that works. Here you go, little guy. And today I'm getting back out there. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to come back. I'm bringing with me some good supplies. Inflated the boat. Now we're ready to go. This is the last time that this microphone worked. I recorded this on my new 12-year-old laptop to substitute the loss of my phone, and borrowed my microphone from my desktop computer. And after recording this, I set off. Ahead of me lay 2 miles of open ocean and an island so beautiful that I could not think of it without smiling. Not very long into the trip, though, I noticed that only the beaches were calmer, not the ocean surrounding the island. If anything, the waves were even more aggressive than before. Some waves were white-capped, which were not fun at all to ride over. Sometimes a wave would be above my head. Some waves put fear into me that I hadn't felt since I nearly lost my life on that beach. Time moved so slowly, and as did my boat. But you could see the island did slowly approach, which kept me motivated. And then, over an hour into the trip, and way ahead of schedule, I finally made it to the island. I was ecstatic. I had finally made it. This is it. The island at the edge of my horizon. quickly circled the island and took some crude pictures on this really crappy webcam. And quickly, my smile turned into a frown. As I looked around, I couldn't help but think to myself, how would I leave this island? And if I even could leave, how would I get to shore? Eventually, I composed myself and sat down, opened up my laptop, and just thought about what was happening around me, and just pondered how I was going to leave. You see, the island had incoming waves for almost the entirety surrounding it, except for a small portion where instead of hitting the island, the waves would pass by it. So this seemed like the obvious route to go, and did end up being the route that I did take. But however, occasionally, a wave would come in from the direction of the main island. It would collide with the wave passing by the kayak and create a small rogue wave. I knew the power of rogue waves and knew that taking that route was probably just as dangerous as rowing directly into oncoming waves. But the rogue waves appeared rarely enough that I felt it was safe enough to go, and I did too. I took this route and headed off. With the island now behind me, I headed to shore. And as I headed to shore, I noticed that, predictably, I was being pushed very far west. I knew I wasn't headed to the open ocean, but I knew that I was not going to be anywhere near where I departed. And as time moved on, I became tired and started to give up. I was tired of rowing. I was tired of dealing with massive waves. I was tired of waiting for a shark to jump out of the water and eat me. I was tired of fearing death. I wanted to go home. I wanted to just get home and put this all behind me. Eventually, I noticed that I was going to land near the airport on a very calm beach, but I knew that I'd be walking for a very long time back to my truck. It seemed almost hopeless. And an hour and 45 minutes into the return trip, and maybe half an hour from the shore, just as I'm starting to summon my second wind, or let's be honest, maybe third or fourth wind, I noticed two boats headed my way. And this scared me. I mean, sure, maybe they'll save me, but they were headed straight for me, and if they didn't stop, there was nothing I could do to keep them from just running me over and instantly killing me. I was scared, so I began to wave my arms, and I even screamed, hoping that they don't hit me. Hey, I'm here, don't, stop, I'm here. Don't kill me. And they stopped right next to me. And this guy leaned over the side of the boat and asked me what the hell I was doing out there. So I told him that I was coming back from Cayo Blanco, and he said short. And he told me to get myself, my stuff, and my boat aboard and asked me what beach I departed from. I told him where I was from, and we went on our way. They saved me over 2 hours of walking to my truck and over half an hour of rowing to the shore. And I'm very thankful of them for that. I got a much-deserved talking to and was sent on my way. They dropped me off not 30 feet from shore and left. I went home and enjoyed my sunburn and the satisfaction of having finally made it to Cayo Blanco. people used to ask me why I wanted to go there. And I always just gave them some bullshit reason, like I just had to, or because I wanted to, or maybe I didn't give them a reason at all. But after watching this video by Amp Lemon, I finally understood why I wanted to go there. So now when people ask me why I did go there, I tell them this: because it's there.